Okay, so we are back for another mod video. This is probably going to be modification number 10 for the Kawasaki Z900 2022 model. Here you see we have some ASV levers, the C5 model. ASV actually offers two different options for their aftermarket levers for the sport bikes there. There's an F3 version and a C5. When I first started looking at levers, I was kind of confused, you know, what was the difference, but a good way to remember is the F stands for forged, and the C stands for CNC machine. So that's how you can kind of quickly understand what's the difference between the two offerings. The number also has some significance. F3 refers to their forged levers that come with a 3-year warranty. The C5 levers are the CNC machine versions that come with a 5-year warranty. So we're going to put these on, upgrade the OEM kind of standard silver levers and put these aftermarket levers on. It's kind of funny. I had experimented with the new YouTube, new to me, YouTube post feature, and I put a poll about 3 weeks ago. I was coming up on a little baby milestone of 100 subscribers. It's a really small milestone, but still a milestone nonetheless. And just asking folks, you know, what video I should do next. Should I do the bar end mirror review? And I already have Moto.Gadget bar end mirrors, but as you can see, I actually have a set of Fenrir bar end mirrors. Fenrir, they actually sent these to me at no cost, so that was pretty cool. And I actually had an extra set of high-sider bar ends, which will come in handy for anybody doing an aftermarket install. So, you know, the question was, should I do a video on the Fenrir versus Moto.Gadget, or should I do motorcycle levers? And you can see at the time I hadn't yet purchased the ASV levers, but they are here. Then just a random, you know, question about some raw group ride video. You can see that actually was only two people, two viewers. The whole total of 2 people replied to this. One of those were actually I submitted a vote myself. I think I voted for the Moto.Gadget Fenrir. I can't even remember now, but either way, we're gonna do this one next. ASV levers, the C5 version. So let's do an unboxing of these. They actually ship pretty quickly. I think it only took maybe a few days or so. I actually ordered them in between Christmas and New Year's, so for these to be kind of made to order, as they say, or assembled to order, that was pretty quick. Oh, pretty light. Oh, they feel nice though. Really nice fit and finish of these, I can tell already. You can see I opted for a 2-color version, so I wanted to have kind of the silver at the top, but the kind of black matte finish on the front surface. Oh, the other cool thing, you know, I guess was, you know, one of the real major benefits of the ASV levers is they have a significant amount of adjustability. You have 180, I believe, kind of ticks in this wheel that you can adjust. So shouldn't have any problem, you know, dialing in that perfect distance from the handlebars for whatever kind of grip you want for either the brake or clutch lever. Yeah, so these are really nice. So this, let me see. This will be the clutch lever, because you can see the little indentation there where the end of the clutch cable goes. So this will be the clutch lever, and this will be the brake lever. Alright, so what we're going to do is do the clutch side first. Just a quick preview of how that's going to look. That'll be really nice. A little bit of visual interest with the contrast and color. You have some black on the front of the lever. So what we need to do to remove the clutch is light here. So that nut right there, we're going to need to loosen that up. But to do that, well, that bolt, we have to remove that bolt. We have to get the it's a 10 mil. I can't get that to focus better. There we go. So we have to remove that 10 mil nut right there. So let's get to it. Okay, so we removed the bolt. That was pretty simple. But one thing you got to be careful with is this little plunger here. It's switch that detects whether the clutch is in or out. Looks like a really fragile little piece of plastic, so gotta really be careful with trying to pull this thing out with that plunger exposed like that. Okay, so what we had to do was just loosen these bolts a little bit so that the clutch perch can rotate a little bit more freely, because it was actually binding on the this housing here that has the turn signals and some of the power mode controls. So now that we have that rotated around, yeah, you can see it just came right off. It's pretty simple. So now that we have that removed, let's take a look at both of these. So a nice side-by-side comparison of the old and new. I removed the OEM lever. I did lose the spring, so I have to find that. But I did swap out the little barrel and put it in the new lever, so this should just plug right in. One thing I will do is give it a little spray of silicone grease just to make sure that barrel is lubricated before I reinstall it. But looks good. Alright, so let's lubricate this barrel. This is just some silicone spray lubricant. Make sure it's lubricated nicely. All right, so that's in. Let's try to reconnect our cable here. So just my get back on the bike because I had this set at a certain tilt. I'll make sure the tilt is right. And yeah, that feels good. Okay, so we have the clutch lever installed. Had to adjust the cable screw a little bit. It had to come out probably like twice as much as I had with the original. But everything looks good so far. Did a quick check on that plunger. Let's see, where's the plunger? There we go. It's a little plunger that's right here. Making sure that that's working properly. But yeah, these look good. So what I'm gonna do is open the garage doors, crank the bike up, make sure the clutch engagement is reasonable. Then we'll move on to the brake lever. Seems good to go. And I'll be able to adjust the distance and bring it in a little bit. Oh man, look at that. Alright, so one other thing I wanted to highlight is the plunger here. So I've just been out on a ride testing the clutch engagement and feel. And so a couple things, you want to make sure that there's a little bit of free play. So you can see I have about 2 to 3 millimeters of slack in the clutch. You need to make sure that you have that. But the other thing is when you pull the clutch all the way in, you want to make sure that plunger is able to come all the way out. The reason why that's important is, you know, this sensor detects whether the clutch is in or out. So if you're trying to start the bike in first gear, you know, that clutch has to be pulled all the way in. So you want to make sure that you can do that. Otherwise, you won't be able to start the bike in first gear. So if you stall out at a light or intersection, or for whatever reason, you don't want to be fumbling around having to put the bike in neutral, start it up, then put it in first. You want to be able to pull that clutch in, start the bike in, and keep going. So just another note when you're adjusting, you know, your clutch lever, and as you can see, I have that free play in there. So making sure that those clutch discs are fully engaged when the clutch is out. So the brake side should be a lot easier. It's essentially just this one screw here, a 10 millimeter nut on the bottom that will hold steady. This should pop right out. Should be a direct swap. Just kind of get a look at the ASV lever. And like I was mentioning before, this little initial curvature is a lot more aggressive on the ASV levers. So even on the clutch, I can get, you know, 2 fingers right in that little dip. So I normally do 2 fingers on the brake routinely, especially for trail braking. But it's been a little bit more difficult on the clutch. I normally have 3 or 4 fingers on it, but it'd be great if I can only have to do 2 on the clutch pull. But we'll see once we take it out. But as of right now, these levers are going in pretty easily. So let's go ahead and swap this one. So again, this should just be 10 mil nut on the bottom. So that broke loose pretty easily. And, let's see. Alright, so you still have to continue to unscrew the brake lever. So this is a nut that was at the bottom. Let's go ahead and set that down. Pull out this screw. Yeah, this one should be a direct swap. Let's go ahead and do a side by side of the brake lever and the ASV. Yep, looks good. This one already had a barrel installed, so I didn't have to swap out the barrel like I did with the clutch lever. Yeah, I had a feeling this one would be a much easier install. I did recommend I put some grease on. Grease on the contact point. This is what kind of comes in contact with the plunger for the brake, so let's see if I can't find some grease to put on this. But yeah, this should be a quick swap. Alright, so on the brake lever side, they do recommend that you apply a little bit of grease to the lever where it comes in contact with the brake plunger. So I don't have a lot of options as far as the grease goes. I do have some disc brake quiet, but I don't think I want to use that. So what I'll do is I'll put a little dab of caliper lube. You know, it's a silicone formula. So I'll put some of that on here. So what I'll do is just grab a little dab of this. Goes right in. All right. So brake light is coming on. Oh yeah.